Howbeit then, when ye knew not God, ye did service unto them which by nature are no gods. Ye observe days and months and times and years.
There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord.
What is observing times, and what does it have to do with witchcraft?
So let's first talk about Sabbats and what they are. For a beginner Wiccan, one of the first things that you'll learn about are Sabbats. So in Wicca there are 8 Sabbats, which celebrate seasonal changes throughout the year. The Sabbats are also known as the Wheel of the Year.
The Wheel of the Year is the calendar of holy days, of sacred holidays. So traditionally in the Wiccan tradition, the Celtic Anglo, the new year began at Samhain, which we know as Halloween. 6 weeks later, we have the winter solstice, which is the shortest day and the longest night, and it is the night of mystery, the night of the womb, the night in which the great goddess gives birth to the sun, S-U-N.
To the sun, S-U-N.
And the Christian calendar had to adapt itself and move the date of the birth of Christ to be proximal to the winter solstice because the old religion was hanging on and people wouldn't give it up.
This year I've also decorated my altar with mistletoe as well. If you guys didn't know, mistletoe is actually a pagan tradition. Traditional pagans would bring live pine trees into their home and hang food on them for the wandering spirits that didn't have anywhere to go around Yule. If you guys weren't actually aware, Christmas was actually originally a pagan holiday, so if you see a lot of relations to do with these, this is why. So this year I've actually had loads and loads of fun creating evergreen wreaths to go on my door, and also bringing bits of old Yule and old pine into your house if you can find any, and also having pine trees as well in your house is a tradition. In all honesty, my days seem to have consisted with eating and doing some Yule related spells, like I said, for peace and happiness within the new year. Usually around this time as well, you tend to have a big meal with either your family or your coven members or your witch friends or whoever you'd like to share it with.
Now today's episode is about the Wheel of the Year, the 8 holy days of the year. It's something, that I've been using in my personal life for many, many years now, just following these natural cycles of nature. Now what's interesting about the celebration of Yule is that the traditions that you would normally do at Yule are the traditions that today a lot of people think are Christmas traditions. But here's the truth. The reality is that all of the Christmas traditions that we know of today, the Christmas tree, the Yule log, all of these traditions, they actually come from Yule. So they were taken from Yule. So what happened is that back in the day when the Roman Catholic Church was trying to convert people to their religion of Christianity, well, they were having a lot of trouble doing it, right? People were very stuck in their old ways. They wanted to keep their tradition, which is normal. So what they decided to do was to make their important dates, such as the birth of Jesus, such as the resurrection, all of these important dates, very close to the 8 holy days. Now, here's what's interesting is that, perhaps you don't know this, but Jesus was not actually born on the 25th of December. And today there's a lot of evidence that shows this. He was actually born in March, in the spring equinox. So what they did is that they changed the date so it was closer to Yule, so that people would celebrate the same way they celebrated the birth of the sun, right? S-U-N. Now they were going to celebrate the birth of the sun, S-O-N. So this is where I like to start, like I said, my Wheel of the Year in Yule. This is the first celebration, a celebration where I do all the traditions that, again, are from Yule, but that are considered today as Christmas traditions.
All this business about mistletoe, pagan. Christmas trees, pagan. Giving out gifts, pagan. Every bit of it is pagan. Every single bit of it is pagan. We've Christianized it all. And so that's good. And so we have time, we celebrate for Jesus. Everybody gets all misty-eyed. But the truth is, they're all pagan. Thanks for those questions. I hope I didn't shock you. I'm not being irreverent, but it's the way it is.
So when you putting your tree up?
Huh? I finally got one of those fake trees, and it's beautiful. It's already pre-lit, and you just plug those little joints in, stick it up, and plug them in, and all of a sudden you've got a riot of light. I like all the decorations. The Founder's Inn is just loaded with decorations. It's very pretty. But pagan.
And he said unto them, Full well ye reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own tradition.